Hey, how's it going, everybody? It is once again Return of the Mac, and I'm here to talk to you guys about some online cheating. Online cheating, and I'm not talking about dating services and what people do behind the scenes of the download. I'm talking about what is it that people are doing on the leaderboards on the Xbox Live Tekken, and it's probably happened in other games too, where they're able to do cheesy stuff, and it works. They're able to cheat the system and get ranks that they don't deserve. You know what I mean? And I guess in general, I want to just talk about anything that adversely affects records, negatively affects scores. You know what I mean? Whether it's something as small as, a player rage quits and disconnects during a ranked match, therefore denying somebody a win that was fairly theirs, or be it as major as like boosting, you know what I mean? And people actually getting two accounts or getting a friend to sit there and fight each other over and over again so that they can rank up to Tekken God. Which, that might seem ridiculous because that would take who knows how many hours that would take. But people are doing this. And it's always made me wonder why it is that, a player like myself who isn't the maximum of the leaderboards, I'm not up there in the top 10, how come every time I fight one of those guys, they disconnect? They leave the game right before I'm about to give the final move, or I've got him in the giant swing that's going to kill him. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, your connection has been lost because the player has left the session. And it's like, oh, man. It's a big blow because here I am thinking everything is so legit, you know what I mean? These guys are pound for pound the best in the world. This is about to be the match I learned something from, and they get destroyed. They didn't end their rank fairly, and it's kind of a shame, So I wanted to talk about all that stuff with you guys real quick, see what you guys thought about it. And my thoughts on it personally, I guess in general, is, I guess the developers don't have a way to really prevent everything, you know what I mean? And therefore, you can't really look at ranked matches or online play in general as an official way of determining your skill level or determining who's the best, who's better. You know what I mean? Who had the better timing? You can't just look at someone's rank and determine that because so much of the ranks out there are fraudulent. Now, I personally can say I've never disconnected during a match before. I've never boosted, none of the illegitimate stuff. I've never done any of that before. So, what you see with my rank is what you get. Whatever my rank is, look up MackdaddyX, the king player. Whatever that's at, that is an actual legit rank. But not everybody does that. In fact, it just seems like a majority of the people at the top got there by boosting. For those of you who don't know, what boosting is and you can see this when you download some of their videos and they forgot to take them down. Boosting is, it's when they start a ranked match mode, they wait, basically, they keep doing sessions and sessions until they finally get the account that they want to play against because they know that they'll be able to use that to boost up because the other person has either agreed ahead of time to let them win so that they can rank up, or they're just dual boxing. They're using two different accounts on two different televisions or computers or whatever, and two different Xboxes, and they're just boosting their way to victory. You know what I mean? And you can see how boring it is. Somebody stands still in some of these replays, takes just all the hits, doesn't block, actually is moving forward because if you actually left it neutral, they would block automatically, so you can't have that. They're walking towards one person who's spamming the same move over and over again. It's like, you call that a victory? And you actually see them rank up. You see the matches where, it's a promotion match, and they do the same annoying thing over and over again, laws kicks, triple kicks over and over again till they die 3 times in a row, and it's like, wow, that was so uneventful. That'll never end up being the type of replay that ends up on my channel. I'll tell you that right now. I won't be uploading anything boring. I try to upload the exciting fights. But it's like, it's flustered. I don't know what to say about this. You know what I'm saying? It blows my mind that people would invest the time. I guess it's, I don't know, young kids maybe, but below 13 years old have nothing better to do, or it's around the time of school to be out. They have no summer school, terrible parenting, so they have all day to play Tekken, and this is what they're doing. They're investing all this time to boost. I don't know, man, but it's just a huge, I would call it a burden on the progress of esports. In esports, the goal of what we're trying to do, and what everybody's trying to do, that all the commentators out there, big shout outs, of course, to Husky and HD and Day 9 and the StarCraft community, as well as the commentators in Street Fighter, like Chris Hu, etc. But, I mean, these guys are professional enough in their commentary of these games, fighting games, RTSs, whatever, that it's actually starting to feel and sound like sports. You know what I'm saying? Actual sports. And, the more and more professional that it gets, esports will become the kind of thing that hopefully one day we'll have a big enough pool of players, a big enough pool of management and organization to have it be a professional sport. You know what I mean? Where someone does get a contract for a few $100,000 or maybe 20 years into the future, a few $1 million over a few years to play these games, to play Tekken. But all of these people who are doing cheating type things online, they bring down the integrity, because naturally you can see some of that would slip into esports, because people are people, and people will do anything to make it look like they're better than they are, or to win, or whatever. I mean, it's just human nature. People are people. And so, even though I'm not one of those people, I'm a warrior, man. It's a difference between warriors and cowards, you know what I'm saying? Warriors and fakes. I'm a warrior, If I'm down, I'm going to lose. Hey, it's going on the record. I'm going to take the loss fair and square. But, that's not everybody. Most people are showing that at the top, they're cheaters, and it's a shame. I think it brings down esports a bit, and it puts a huge burden also on the development team for these games. You know what I'm saying? Because they're like, they would have to scratch their heads to make this thing legitimate again. You know what I'm saying? To actually make a system where people can't get 8 wins and be a Tekken god. It's like, how did they boost to get this? The development team probably doesn't even know themselves. They clearly don't have quality assurance team, obviously, or if they do, they weren't good enough to figure out that people could do this upon the release of the game. You know what I'm saying? So poor quality assurance management in the online department for the Tekken series, but hopefully that stuff will get better as these newer games come out and they're able to catch and really see how bad this has become. I hope that it gets better, because, you won't be able to just log online and actually be able to cast and do everything online like they have been able to do with the RTSs, like StarCraft 2, with Tekken and the fighting games, because of illegitimate ranks, What I don't know, since I've been focusing on Tekken so much lately, is how many other games is this a problem for? I assume it's not just the leaderboards in Tekken. You guys let me know, post some comments below, let me know what other games this is a problem for. Even send me footage, send me some video that shows, hey, yep, look at this on the leaderboards, Is this a common theme across all games, or is this a problem that the developers of each individual game have to tackle? I really don't know. It's a good question. But hopefully in the future, what I'm looking to see is the development teams being capable of shutting this stuff down, actually have a smart system. I mean, an intelligent ranking system, a ranking system that knows, if you see the same move done over and over again, or if the opponent is standing still or walking forward the whole match, or, all of these weird cases, then maybe it would just shut this stuff down, like nullify the win, doesn't even really give them a legit win, or doesn't give them something that adds to their ability to rank up. You know what I mean? Can't rank up that way. It's a smart system. It knows what a real fight looks like. You know what I mean? At least effort, I'm not saying that every single fight online in ranked mode has to look like the pros. You know what I'm saying? But there has to be programmatically some kind of way for the computer even to pick things up and recognize, this isn't a legit fight. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's been collecting data for the first and second round, there should be something that kind of pings the computer at some point. I don't know what point that is, unfortunately. I've thought about this, I really have. But something that tells, this smart system, hey, look, this isn't a real fight. It's not going to be a real fight because the first couple of rounds are blown. So even if they pick up and try to play now, we should discredit this, you know what I'm saying? Shouldn't count it. And, another thing that I think they should do, since I'm so into providing solutions to problems instead of just complaining about them, I think that when someone disconnects from a session, you know what I think should happen? I think the game should let the session continue. That's what I think. I think it should have a little note that comes up, almost like the "you got mail" type notes, you know what I'm saying, at the bottom of the screen. Hey, your opponent has just disconnected from the session. However, the session is going to continue to go. And it lets you play. You can do whatever you want to them. And then you win. And after you win, you get a win. You know what I'm saying? That would shut down so much stuff, because even if somebody rage quits, it just means it's the same thing as you dropping the controller in your room. You know, and if they just drop the controller, well, hey, you can still beat them down. If it's a ranked mode, it's serious, you know. Ranked mode isn't player matches. This is dead serious, you know. It's perfectly legit to just beat someone down if they're going to give up like that and actually get a fair win. You know what I mean? Unlike how it is now, you know, where someone disconnects, the system is confused because it doesn't know who disconnected or if it was a problem with the server or whatever. So just nobody gets a win and nobody gets a loss. It's just, it doesn't count, you know. I think the system could be smarter than that. You know, I really do believe that. Even with the understanding it's a development issue, you know, and maybe it's the kind of thing that gamers and commentators alike should be raising flags with and suggesting to the development team at Namco, posting on forums, etc. However Namco prefers for us to, you know, alert them of this issue. You know, I think that that's something that's possible. It is possible to see systems in the future that are smart. You know, smarter, just to increase the integrity of scores. You know what I'm saying? Basically all of the same problems that Twin Galaxies went through, you know, however many years it was ago, 30 years ago, whatever it was, to actually have legitimate scores. We're seeing this again in the online community. You know, the online is relatively new for fighter games, past 5 years at most, maybe. You know what I'm saying? And it's still at the point where scores aren't legit. You know, people can still get around the system and do things to manipulate the system and, you know, falsify their records, falsify scores, or negatively impact their opponent's score, you know, by not giving them a win. So, yeah, we still have some work to be done, but I definitely think a very smart system is possible. Let's just raise our concerns to Namco. I encourage everybody to, if this is something you don't like to see, raise your concern to Namco. Maybe, I don't know if we want to get to advanced as starting a petition or whatever, but let's find out the way to petition this type of thing and, you know, actually encourage the development team to say, hey, look, it will be worth your time and effort to make a system smart enough to have it be considered professional. Because looking at StarCraft 2, the revenues are off the books for the companies, you know, for like Blizzard, because they've been able to incorporate in-game things that help people to play the game better. And, you know, as far as records are concerned, nothing is better than denying falsification. Nothing is better than that. It would increase the quality of the scores overall. You know, it would increase the quality of gameplay because people would be forced to step up rather than give up. You know, they would be like, okay, well, if I actually want to look legit, I better go ahead and fight this thing out rather than give up halfway through the last round. And, you know, it would just increase quality overall, increase people's performance, increase everything. So, I mean, I guess that's pretty much the bulk of what I can think about right now off the top of my head on just scores and, you know, disconnectors, cheaters, all that stuff, all the negative stuff that comes with online play. You know, it's bad enough with online gaming that you have to put up with lag. You know what I'm saying? Lag will always be a factor, even with the most green number 5 up there. Lag is still always going to be a factor compared to offline play. Compared to offline, it'll never be, you know, perfect. But yeah, I think that things can be better. Let me know what you guys think, and I will talk to you later. Peace out.